Here on GoPSUSports.com, Brian Tripp joined by Penn State hockey head coach Guy Gadowsky. The Nittany Lions are off to a 4-0 start, the best in program history. Coach, where do you feel like your team's at through the first 2 weeks?
I feel that it's early. I think it's way too early to try to get any patterns out of it. I can tell you that I like our mentality. I like that the guys are playing hard for each other. That I like, but trust me, there's a long, long way to go.
Scoring a lot of goals and playing to an identity. Is that encouraging as a coaching staff to see the team play to those Penn State hockey characteristics so early?
Yeah, I think we made a definite decision that we were going to really narrow our focus on what we do, and I think that's helped. And I think you have new players that come in that can understand a little bit more quickly on what we're all about, and I think you have guys that fit the mold as well. As we get better recruiting and better more with our identity, I think as the players are recruited, they're a little more fit to that, and so far it's working.
You mentioned it's early, but you can certainly see Ludwig Larsson's impressive numbers on faceoffs, and the team had a great weekend on faceoffs. How important is that to what you do?
I think it's huge. I mean, I know there's hockey analytics guys that will argue on the importance of faceoffs, but I feel I really think they're actually understated, not overstated, and it's really great. We really were optimistic about what Ludwig had been doing in the faceoff circle, but I tell you what, as optimistic as we never thought he was this good, so we're thrilled.
What are the next foundation blocks that you're trying to lay with your team here over the next few weeks before you get into conference play?
Yeah, well, there's a couple things. I mean, just because you win, that doesn't mean that you don't have a lot to work on. And we worked very hard last week on specific items, and this week it's a little similar. We took way too many stick penalties, and we had way too many high turnovers. And that is not necessarily systematic, but it's habits. And we have to work on that. We have to make it a priority. It's just too easy to let that slip, especially when you have success. But those are two things that could greatly burn you in the future, so we want to work as hard as we can on that right now.
You needed a good third period on Saturday to close out Niagara. I think your team's outscoring teams this year 10-2 in third periods. Do you like the way you're finishing? And obviously Peyton was important in that as well.
Yeah, both our goaltenders have been excellent, and unfortunately he was called on to make some huge saves. Now we're very happy with the mentality of that, third period mentality, but we're also that has to do with the type of condition that we're in. As we try to elevate our program and continue to get better, so does Cam Davidson in the strength and conditioning program, and I mean he's as dialed in, as committed to it as possible, and so far so good with that aspect as well.
Coach, two teams that love to score this weekend. You know all about Princeton. What can fans expect on Friday? It should be a great game.
Yeah, well, you know what you can expect for sure is you have the two leading scorer returnees in the nation coming from Princeton. You got to give them a ton of credit. They went to the NCAA tournament last year. They won their league. They had the second highest points per game player returning. They have the highest goal per game player returning, which is in this day and age of college hockey, I mean, spectacular in its own right. So they certainly have a lot of offensive power, and we're going to have to be playing great on both ends of the puck, or else it could be a long night for us.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck this week.
Thank you very much, Tripper.
Penn State head coach Guy Gadowsky with us.